Hey guys, welcome back. Chaz and I decided that we sort of missed doing our pantry challenge videos and doing some cook with us videos, so we decided to do one just because and say hey. And Chaz is making some dessert for supper. He's going to make a chocolate cake from a box and he's going to do it by himself. I'm hands off, and I made some mushroom soup, so I hope you stick around. We'll see you in a bit. Well, if you've seen my other videos, you know that I had about 20 pounds of mushrooms to get through to preserve and use up. So I decided to make some cream of mushroom soup tonight for dinner. And so I just added some avocado oil to the pot to heat it up and threw in 3 medium-sized onions chopped up. And I wanted to, I wasn't worried about how big they were in size because I was going to be pureeing them. So it was just a really quick chop. I added some salt and pepper into there. I wanted to sweat out some of that onion juice, so I added salt. This is thyme, and I added, I don't know, teaspoon and a half of thyme. And that was plenty. I don't think I needed any more than that for the amount of soup that I made. It was pretty potent. So I just gave this a really good stir until the onions started to get translucent, and then I added about 2 tablespoons of parsley into the onions and then some chopped up garlic. Now there was probably about 1/4 cup total of chopped garlic that I put into this dish. Just gave it a good stir. I don't want to burn the onion I didn't want to burn the garlic, and I was planning to do something different when I made this soup, so I took out the onions, but I could have just left them in. I just made an extra step for myself because I changed my mind partway through. But anyway, what I ended up doing was I added some butter into the pan. I always love it when little heart shapes show up in my cooking. So fun. Anyway, I chopped up some mushrooms and I threw it into the butter, and I cooked that till they were starting to get tender. And there was about 1.5 pounds of mushrooms total that went into what I cooked. I added some more after, and then I added the onions back in because I changed my mind of what I was planning to do. So this was pepper. I added about a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. And just gave it a really good stir while it was cooking. It smelled so delicious. While I was doing this, I had the freeze jar going with preserving and drying some mushrooms to put on the shelf for long-term storage. So that was really awesome. Multitasking my food preservation. And so here I added some flour. I think total I added about 1 cup of flour, and I just cooked it into the mushrooms and onions and garlic, and just to kind of get rid of that raw flour taste, sort of browned it a little bit. And this was some bone broth, some beef stock that I had made from one of our grass-fed beef that we had in the freezer. I had pressure canned some bone broth up, or some beef stock that I had made out of the bones. And so I used 1 quart of that, and I sort of added half of the jar, and then I mixed it up really well to make it really thick, almost like a gravy. And then I added the rest of the beef stock to thin it out a little bit more. I didn't want any lumps from the flour, or just didn't want any chunks in it. So I was just doing it really slowly, bringing it up to temperature really nice and slow. Then I added 1 quart of chicken stock that I had made. It was a chicken bone broth stock that I had done up a few months ago. And so I just let that simmer up until everything was tender. And I put in an immersion blender and I made it smooth. or smooth-ish, not completely smooth. There was still some chunks of mushrooms and stuff in there. I wanted a little bit more flavor, so I added some dill. I should have probably added about 1 teaspoon of dill, and that would have been just perfect. Maybe between half and 1 teaspoon. It wasn't quite the right flavor, so I added in about a tablespoon of veggie broth powder, which is basically just like an OXO or a bouillon. I just wanted to use this one up. I would have used the beef or the chicken bouillon if I didn't have that to use up. And then these were some mushrooms, extra mushrooms I just crumbled up in there. I should mention they're freeze-dried mushrooms, but I didn't feel like chopping up any more that were in the fridge, so I just grabbed a handful or a couple handfuls out of the jar that was sitting next to the stove. I thought, why not? I was feeling quite lazy. I was being very entertained by Chaz by this point, and so I was being very distracted by the soup. I did puree it again with the immersion blender, and I shut the heat off once it had cooked, and then I started to add cream. I added about 1.5 cups of half and half cream to the soup with the heat off. I didn't want to heat it up to a boil. Just it was hot enough, so I just added it in a little bit at a time. I realized that I forgot to add celery. I always add celery when I do this, so I added some celery salt because it was lacking salt and it was lacking the celery. So I added about 1.5 teaspoons of celery salt, and that was just perfect to this volume of soup. I added just a little bit more there. I just kept adding it and just tasting it, and it was really good. So we'll just set that to the side and let's see what Chaz is cooking up. Okay, Mr. Baker Man. Good catch. I was gonna say, what do you have to do first?
Yeah.
So what does it say?
Mix the cake mix, water, oil, eggs in a large bowl with mixer on medium speed or beat vigorously by hand for 2 minutes. So.
Well, first, do you have all your ingredients?
No.
So you need how many eggs?
3.
No eggshells?
I don't think so.
Woohoo! Good job, bud. I remember when you were little and you tried cracking an egg and you crushed it and you started to cry and you were scared of eggs for like 3 months. You remember that?
Nope.
You were just a teeny bopper. I think you were like 3.5 when you were like cracking an egg. You were trying to help make something.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. 1.25 cups of water and milk. We're gonna use water, eh? It says water or milk. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You're gonna have to show us how much water you got in there.
It's like it. That's a third. That's about 1.25 cups, yeah.
Bring it close. Hold it level. So it says 1.25 cup?
Yep.
You're sure?
Yeah. Half a cup.
Hold it level. Oh. Oh.
2/3 is just over.
Are you sure?
Yeah. If you're really unsure,
Huh?
it's fine.
Are you sure? You confident?
Yep.
Am I psyching you out?
A bit.
Psych, psych, psych. Do you remember where the whisks are?
Yes.
You don't mix that first.
Well, I guess I probably should.
But what is it? Does it say to?
It says just mix cake mix, water, oil, eggs in a large bowl. So I was putting all together.
Scissors are in the drawer. Top drawer. Just you can cut it right across. There you go.
It's that really weird material though. It's like to cut. How's a chocolate milk? Or chocolate. Hot chocolate.
Smells like hot chocolate.
Yeah, like hot chocolate milk.
Hmm. Well, let's see.
Guess I didn't grease my pan first. Kind of.
How long do you have to mix it?
About 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah. Oh,
With a
it's
beater? Or by
good. Well,
hand?
by hand. For 2 minutes. But
Well, at least we know you're not getting into trouble.
what do you mean?
Because you're busy mixing.
Yeah.
Or you're not texting your girlfriend. Oh, that was the one. Eh? That got the reaction.
Yeah.
Hey, Chaz, why is your face red?
I don't know. It just is. It's cold outside.
Oh, so you gotta tell our Facebook or our YouTube friends why your face is red.
It's windy outside.
Oh, windy.
Yeah, it's cold.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Your face just got you in trouble.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You know exactly what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. Oh yeah. I think that's probably good.
What's that?
It looks pretty good.
It has to be smooth, right?
Yep. There's a little bit of chunks in
Let's see. How smooth is it?
there. Just a little bit of chunks.
Just a little bit of chunks is okay? Just like a little bit of red is okay when we're talking about your girlfriend? So what I usually do is I just go over it like that.
Okay.
And make sure I go up the sides as well. Just makes it easier. You know what I mean? Because if you use oil, it almost always sticks. My mom used to always say, never use oil in the pan because it'll always stick. And I never believed her, and I always would just use oil until the one day she was right, and then it really made me annoyed. So I never liked it when my mom was right.
Yeah.
You don't have to go up over the sides because it will only go up a little bit just so that it doesn't stick in the corners. Good job.
Thanks. Thanks.
You're probably going to need a spatula. Just makes it a little easier. Is that the right size of pan?
Yeah.
It said 9 by 13.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems so like little bit. I haven't made one of these kind of cake mixes in probably 15 years.
Yeah. I don't usually use them either.
Really? In your whole cake baking career?
Well, I don't remember
You know?
using them.
So how many times have you ever made a cake in your life?
A few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. You're getting it everywhere. Wipe that above the floor before Molly licks it. No, Molly. Really? Well, looks good, Chaz. Good job. You gonna put it in?
Yep.
Excuse me. How long does it have to cook for?
30 to 35 minutes, it said. 30 to 35. And check it.
How long?
30 to 35 minutes.
So what would be the best idea then? You put it on for 35?
Yep.
So then if it burns before you check it, then what?
Then
You always put it on the lower number, not the highest number.
Right.
So you have to put it on the lowest number. Because then you can add time, but you can't take away time, right? Because then the damage is already done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So 30 minutes, check it. We do a poke test or whatnot to see if it's cooked through. And then if it's not cooked through, then you can add 5 minutes.
Right.
Good job.
Thanks.
It's going to be real hot.
It's good.
You like it?
Yep.
What's it taste like?
Mushroom.
So how many Chaz stars does it get?
Probably like I don't know, 9, 10. I don't know. I never really enjoyed mushroom soup as much, but it's still good.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome.
Push on the cake, and if it springs back, that's way to test it. Good. So it's done. Turn it off. Grab the oven mitts.
Right.
Just grab the oven mitts and get it out of there. Or the... Here. I don't know where the other one is. You need 2. Stove. Do you need help? Let's see. Not too shabby. Good job. How many Chaz stars? Tyson stars. It's good?
Yep.
Nice breakfast of champions. So you're doing the breakfast of champions too?
Yep. It's a lot of icing.
That's a lot of cake.
Yeah.
Your dad got into it this morning. He really enjoyed it. Do you know why there's toothpicks on the cake?
Nope. Hold that out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Hey Chaz, how many Chaz stars do you give yourself?
Like an easy 10.
An easy 10?
Oh, yeah.
Hey Chaz,
Yep.
do you think your girlfriend would like it?
Well, if I had one, yeah.
Oh, he's single, ladies. He's single. I'm sure there's a grandma or two here that have a granddaughter they can match make you up with.
Okay.
There's no...
Went down the wrong throat.
Went down the wrong what?
Bite.
Throat?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
15 pounds of mushrooms. So there's like 2 quarts. That's a lot.
A lot, yep.
We have enough mushrooms for 2.5 years.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't even preserve all of them. There's still 5 pounds. And we used a pound and a half in the soup last night. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Molly, what you doing?